Good morning. Welcome to meditation lesson 3. You guessed it, video 10. I'm officially out of fingers. Okay. So let's get this out of the way. All these lessons, these 52 lessons that I intend to share with you, are all commentaries and various sets of practice texts. So unless you've got the latest version of the free PDF for the lesson text we're dealing with, it ain't gonna make no sense. So, the first step to getting your hands on the latest free version of the PDF in question is to turn your attention to the links that should be right below this video. If you don't see them, simple fix. In the bottom right hand corner of your screen there should be a little teeny tiny icon that says YouTube. Give that a click or two. It'll take you to YouTube's dedicated page for this video. About an inch below the video there should be a button that reads Show More. Give that bad boy a click and it'll reveal a list of links as long as your arm. That's a bunch of L's, isn't it? Okay, the first link is take you to Facebook, where you could join one of my where you could just friend me, which is quite lovely. The second link will take you to a page of my website that has the various lessons that I've recorded and in various YouTube videos. So here's the deal. Folks, if this is your first time watching my talking head, then don't start with the 10th video of the 3rd lesson. Start with the first video of the first lesson. Yes, it's called humility. Look into it. Okay, the third link will take you to the class materials page of my website. The first 3 things on that page are free. There's a free essay. There's a free image similar to this. And there's a link to take you to download the latest free PDF version of the first set of lesson texts. The other stuff I don't charge for. The links just take you to different vendors. And I've basically tried to find the least expensive stuff for you to use. Like yoga blankets and mala and stuff like that. So, let's get to it. You can pause me right now, download that PDF, and then resume play. I won't even know it. Okay, let's dig in. Join me on the 80th page of the first set of lesson texts. Now, sometimes the numbering is a bit wonky, so you will know you're on the right page because the first heading reads Mahamudra of Bliss and Letting Go. Beneath that it reads Tumos, Navel, Elective, Exclusive. Beneath that it reads Reverse Breathing. In the previous few lessons, we've gone over these 4 exercises on these pages, and we've practiced them. So the idea is, what we're going to do really quick is just get up to speed so we can move on to the next set of exercises. But I don't want to leave you in the lurch. I want to give you a frame of reference. So remember, the word nave, N-A-V, is short for navel. And just like you might have just like you might see a magician on stage releasing a dove, we're going to notice things on our in-breath and then release them as we release our breath on our out-breath, on our exhalation. Okay, let's begin. If you're sitting in a chair like me, make sure your feet are flat on the floor, your tushy is away from the back of the chair. No fear lounging like a lizard. I want you to sit up straight. Plenty of gap between your back of your body and the back of the chair. Okay, so whoopsie, having some fun with the tapestry, also known as a tanka. Okay, so head over shoulders, shoulders over tush bearing the majority of the weight. Hands in lap, left hand in lap, palm up, right hand in left. Thumbs do not touch. As I mentioned in the previous and many previous videos, I'm going to be counting creases since The first 3 exercises are 3 breaths each. So first 3 exercises, second 3 exercises, third exercise, that counts me 9. Then I count the 4th exercise for 1 set of 9, and then 2 sets of 9. That's 18. Or, as us big boys like to say, a quarter mala. Okay, so let's dig in. Remember, we're using reverse breathing, just like we learned in previous lessons. If you're unfamiliar with this, don't fool yourself. You need to go back from the beginning. Here we go. Where navel wheel, releasing. Where nave so, releasing. Where so flame, releasing. So free. All right. Now, we've coalesced our energies with the inner central channel. We've explored the union of sensation and letting go. And now, we're going to do something radical. Remember what I've told you in previous lessons. Buddhism. It would be a mistake to confuse Buddhism with Taoism or Buddhism with Hinduism. They're different practices. In many Taoist practices, they want you to go into ping or no mind, where you have no thoughts whatsoever. In various forms of Hinduism, especially Vedanta Hinduism, they want you to have perfect, rigid concentration. That's very, very blissful and free of distracting thoughts. The problem with that is that when you go through your daily life, you're completely unaware of how to deal with obstructions when they come up. What sets Buddhism apart is that, number one, it does not ignore the nature of mind. The nature of mind is to move around. You know, when it's tired, it sits in one place. When it has energy, it moves around like a little kid on Pop-Tarts. So Buddha taught that was neither good nor bad, it simply is. And so what Buddha taught is there's a way to, instead of fighting mind's tendency to move, harness it, work with it. That's what we've already done in your previous trainings on the Mahamudra of awareness and letting go. Now, both in Hinduism and in Taoism, sometimes it's a practice of meditating on your navel or in your lower abdomen, just like we've done now, or your central abdomen, I should say. What sets us apart is after a very finite amount of time, we're going to move to another part of the body. And so what you'll notice in the 6 yogas of Naropa system of Buddhist practice is that it's just part of the plan. To first work with the navel, then work with the crown, then drop down to the sex tip chakra, then climb back up to the crown, then sink down to the sex root chakra, then climb back to the crown. And you might say, well, that doesn't seem like I can go very deep in concentration. The answer is no, you won't. But you're going to make friends with all the sensations in your body. You're going to learn how to let go of them. That's the key to Buddhism. So I just mentioned that having worked with our central abdomen, we're now going to embark on a journey to our crown. Now, yes, we could just jump to our crown, but that's not the way energy works. Energy travels through pathways in your body, and this journey will give us a greater acquaintance, or a greater familiarity with our channels and with our various chakras and with the sensations that they could generate either today or in the future. Now, the mark of success is not being able to visualize chakras. The mark of success is not measured by our ability to feel bliss. That will take care of itself, either consciously or subconsciously, either in reality or in imagination. You don't have to worry about that. The only thing you need to concern yourself with is mentally reciting a specific phrase on an in-breath, and then mentally reciting another phrase on an out-breath while intending to release it. That's it. Super simple, super easy. Please join me now on page 81. So we're back to the flame. We're back to the little teeny inert flame, the blissful, gently warming flame that is emits out of the top of the so in the center of your navel wheel. So we're going to intend that so flame stretch through whatever means required, out, down your left thigh, down your left leg, out your left foot. There's a place in our foot that the Chinese call the bubbling well. Our foot basically has a major ball behind the big toe and a minor ball behind the little toe. And if you count the ball behind at the heel, our foot basically is a tripod. So just just behind the major and minor ball of the foot, there's an acupressure point. Some people call it the kidney point, some people call it the bubbling well. But that's where we imagine the flame leaving our foot. And once again, this is imagination. So we pretend it's a blissful flame. There's no burning. There's no pain. And some fundamentalists would say, yes, this is crucial for purifying our channels. A lot of liberals say, I don't know what it does, but it sure feels good and it's a lot of fun. So let's play with it now. So we're still working with the reverse breathing. We're still working with the squeezing tight or the shutting of the lower doors. So flame stretch, out left soul. So if you don't do this perfect, you might be scared that you're not going to do this perfect. Don't be scared. It's a certitude. You won't do it perfect. The job is not to be perfectionistic. The job is to have fun, play with it like a kid with a new toy, and profit from it. So what I like to do is on the in-breath, I imagine, either visually or just conceptualize, there's a little teeny flame at my navel. And on the out-breath, I will it to stretch from the navel, down the thigh, down the leg, out the foot, through the foot, out the body. And so what you'll notice is we're taking this is a wonderful dynamic illustration of the idea of awareness and letting go. Awareness of the navel, so flame, and then letting go through the various channels and out the body. Now you might say, but I don't know the location of every channel. You don't have to. Your body already does. It's good to have a brain, but the brain's job is not to replace the intelligence of the body. The body already knows where the channels are, knows how to move energy. It's been doing it since you were a fetus in your mama's belly. So, you'll notice on the right it says X apostrophe S 1 plus. So that means we do each of these transition exercises just for one breath. So we move to the second exercise. So flame stretch, out right soul. And now we switch directions. So flame stretch up to heart. Now, if you've ever explored various schools of Reiki, some will say there are two heart chakras, a lower heart chakra and an upper heart chakra. Many Hindu teachers explain that the heart chakra is up here in your upper third of your sternum. Some Buddhist tantric teachers teach that your heart chakra is the bottom third of your sternum. I find it most resourceful to pretend and imagine the possibility that the heart center could be in the upper third of the sternum. And once again, it's closer to the spine than it is the sternum. In fact, it's only about a thumb's width in front of the spine. Once again, we don't have to visualize that perfectly. The body already knows where it is. It's okay just to have a rough mental intention of where you think it is. So let's play with that right now. So flame stretch up to heart. I like to think of this as contemplative peristalsis. On the in-breath, you are doing the reverse breathing, squeezing to the lower doors, drawing your awareness to the so flame. And out-breath, you release it and let it expand almost naturally. For instance, if you took a balloon, a sealed balloon, and you dragged it underwater, you wouldn't have to force it to the surface. Just by letting go of the balloon, it would automatically find its way to the surface, because air is lighter than water. So likewise, it's not a question of forcing the energy, but allowing the energy to do what it wants. Speaking of doing what it wants, I'm going to pick up the cat, who's quite fussy right now. Hello, little boy. Oh, who's a good kitty cat? Oh. Okay, this is Rinpo Kitty. He's going to climb all over the desk and knock off the camera. Very good. Okay. Cat's funny. Give me attention, but not too much attention. Okay, so here we go. So flame stretch up to heart. Repetition is the mother of skill. I assure you in time it'll become easier and easier to do this. Next exercise. So flame stretch, out left palm. Just in acupuncture, they observe a relationship between the feet and the kidneys. And they also recognize a relationship between the hands and the heart. So it's no coincidence that after working with the heart, we're going to work with the hands. So flame stretch, out left palm. Just like Iron Man, shoots plasma out his palms. And by the way, this is very, very useful when you do healing work in the future. So flame stretch, out left palm. And then you guessed it, so flame stretch, out right palm. And this is especially fun to do when you're very, very cold. I remember many years ago, before I got good at managing my symptoms, I was in a wheelchair, and my sister-in-law was pushing me through the mall so I could buy a Christmas present for my wife. It was very nippy. So I used these Tumo meditations, and it really helped to deal with the cold. Now, obviously, that's not the primary purpose, but sure, can be a fun fringe benefit. Okay, and of course, if you're really, really cold and you're doing Tumo meditations, you are keenly motivated to do them well. Okay, page 82. So flame stretch, up to throat. It's the upper throat, the part of the throat that tightens when you feel like you're going to cry. So flame stretch, up to crown. And as if you've ever had an infant or helped care for an infant, you know that a newborn has a soft spot at the top of the head. The three major bones at the top of the head join what they call a suture, and the sutures meet at a place they call the fontanelle, and we just call it the crown of the head. So, once again, don't stress the details, the body already knows how to get there. So flame stretch, up to crown. And now we come to the last portion of this exercise, and it's so flame stretch down to brow. Remember how I described that the central channel is a lot like a cane. It begins 4 finger widths below the navel, it ascends about a thumb's width before the spine, it curves, brushing the crown, and then terminates between the eyebrows. So let's play with that right now. So flame stretch down to brow. Now you could say the so flame stretches up and then down to brow, but that's inferred. We're using an economy of syllables. So flame stretch down to brow. That marks the end for this session of our practice of both the shutting of the lower doors and the reverse breathing. So now we just relax our bits and pieces. We relax our lower doors, let them do whatever they want to do. And with our abdomen, we let it behave naturally. And naturally, if our abdomen moves, it moves very subtly outward on the in-breath and very subtly inward on the out-breath. Remember, these are not deep breathing exercises. These are not isometrics. But we're returning now to standard breathing, usually to everyone's relief. Because quite frankly, reverse breathing and shutting tight the lower doors is a bit of an exercise. A useful one, but an exercise nonetheless. And the sweetest part of exercise usually is the moment you stop doing it. The moment you complete your session. So now, unlike some of the Hindu systems, we don't want to keep our energy at the place between our eyebrows. We want to bring it back to the crown. And so we play with the idea now of a drop of bliss. It pretends the size of a pea. We don't have to visualize it perfectly. We can merely conceptualize it. and we will that it climbs up to the crown. So bliss drop climbs up to crown. And this is where the drop work is where you get really into, once again, etheric or mystic peristalsis. When in the in-breath you're aware, you choose to be aware or imagine the location of the drop. On the out-breath it moves spontaneously. Let's play with that now. Bliss drop climbs up to crown. Oh, kitty cat really wants out. Do you bear with me? Okay, you basement boy. Have fun. Make friends. Such a good boy. Entitlement, thy name is kitty cat. I love how the cat waits for me to open the screen door for him, because the cat's smart. He already knows how to open the screen door, but he likes to be waited upon. I read this cute thing on Facebook that said cats were once worshipped as deities and have never forgotten that. Okay, so now that we've brought our energy or our awareness or our intention or our imagination to our crown, let's play there. So join me now on page 83. And this is, oopsie, a little misspelling, there you go. And this is very much like the exercise we did on page 81, but just in a different location. So, for 3 breaths, we're going to play with Wear Crown Wheel, releasing. For 3 more breaths, we're going to play with Wear Crown Om, releasing. And then for 12 breaths, which is the final set of 3, and then 2 more sets of 9, if we count this way, we're going to play with Om Free. So let's do that right now. Now, this is not going to be perfect, so let's play with it. Let's have fun. Like a kid in a sandbox. 9 times out of 10, he's not trying to create the perfect, tower. He's just having fun. So let's play with this. Wear Crown Wheel, releasing. Remember, these are rhetorical questions. We don't answer them. We just ask them on the in-breath and release on the out-breath. And you'll notice, wow, this is so much easier without the shutting of the lower doors and without the reverse breathing. And you'll almost feel a sense of freedom and lightness. Wear Crown Om, releasing. Remember, the Crown Om is white. The crown wheel is white. The little Om in the center is white. You don't have to visualize it perfectly. You can simply imagine or pretend it's there. Wear Crown Om, releasing. The one-syllable version of Wear Crown Om is simply Om. And the one-syllable version of releasing is free, as in the phrase, fly, be free. Let's do this for the next 12 breaths. One of the neat things about the 6 yogas of Naropa is that it frequently tweets. I like that. It frequently treats the crown wheel as if it was home base. I'm not sure if you've ever played hide and seek, but we always had this zone that was free, and if someone caught you in your hiding place, you could run quick like a bunny. And if you got to the free zone or the home base before they did, you won. So, in Naropa's 6 yoga system of highest yoga tantra completion stage, what they do is similar. What? You went to the navel? Now you're going back to the crown. What's that? You went to the lower abdomen? Now you're back to the crown. What's that? You went to the tip of the sex tip wheel? Now you're going back to the crown. What? You went to the sex root wheel? Going back to the crown. O is going back to the crown. Now some people just want to stay at the crown all the livelong day. That's not what's taught in the system. And it's useful because the nice thing is, think of it this way. In the Theravada tradition, the fundamentalists are like, hey man, if it feels good, for God's sakes, don't do it. Run away from anything that feels good. But a tantric liberal would say, hey, if it feels good, bring it into the path of love and letting go, and awareness and letting go. Now, love and letting go, we're exploring the future set of lessons. But awareness and letting go, we've already been exploring that since the very first lesson. So whether you're experiencing the pleasure at your navel, or your lower abdomen, or the tip of your sex organ, or the root of your sex organ, either way, or feel it, but learn how to deconstruct it. Feel it on the in-breath, deconstruct the bliss on the out-breath. Same thing with the crown. That wonderful clarity, that wonderful non-attachment we can experience at the crown, feel it, and then let go of that. How ironic it is that we can become attached to non-attachment. Kind of tricky, huh? But we can. So in Buddhism, what we do is we taste that, which smacks of non-attachment, and then we let go even of that. And that's the power of Buddhism. Don't let some cranky cretin tell you otherwise. Perfect concentration is not the Buddha's path. The Buddha's path is highly flexible, very dynamic. So that's all you get today. The next time we meet, I'll be showing you how to do homework for the 3rd lesson. I'll be showing you how to apply this practically in several verbal scenarios, and how to apply this practically in various silent scenarios. So since you can theoretically do your homework with me, with the video, there's no excuse not to do your homework twice a day, every day, once every morning, once every evening, because that's the only way we'll be transformed by the teachings. I thank you for your time and your kind attention. May you and yours be healthy and happy. Om Mani Padme Hum. Before we go, I wish to invite you to click the thumbs up like button in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, and that should reveal some share buttons in the center bottom of your screen. Please click those. And lastly, towards the upper right-hand corner of your screen, there should be a subscribe button. Click that bad boy. Find the YouTube button way over there. That'll take you to the home page. Towards the bottom left-hand corner of the home page, there's a tab that reads Manage Subscriptions. Click that bad boy. Look up Lama Jigme. It's capital L, capital J. Look up Lama Jigme. Click the box to the right of that, and you'll be able to receive email notifications every time I upload a video. Lastly, one of the links below the video will help you to register for the next series of weekly webinars. When they begin? Saturday morning, the 2nd of March. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.